Hi everyone, this is Nichol Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to share with you this collection of foiled frames Halloween cards featuring new die and glimmer plate collections from Spellbinders. These are all part of their 2020 release. I am combining the Fall and Halloween 2020 collection with the Becca Feekin Halloween collection dies, kind of mixing and matching these for my 3 cards today. All of my cards are going to feature this amazing Spiderweb foiled background. I loved it so much, I used it on all of my cards, but we're going to be creating 3 completely different scenes with that same background. So shows the versatility. It's just so amazing. I love Halloween. If you are new here, I love Halloween. If you've been here before, you probably know that I already do. I just kind of love all the spooky decor and the costumes and just all of the things. I think it's fun. If Halloween's not your thing, I totally get that. I know it's not for a lot of people, but it is kind of fun to create these cards. I send these cards to people who maybe even have birthdays in October or other occasions. It gives me a chance to create a bunch of cards that have Halloween themed and just go ahead and send them out throughout the month. We are going to start with some of this. I'm going to want to make sure I get the name right. For whatever reason, I'm having a little lapse there in the name color. This is Fun Stamper's Journey Riverstone cardstock. And we are foiling this first piece with PRISM foil. This is the Spiderweb background. This is from the Fall and Halloween 2020 release. Now what's great is you foil it on one side, flip your cardstock around, foil it on the other side, and you have a frame. You can use it on the top, the bottom, or you can do like I'm doing today and creating the frame, which I think is so awesome. I love, love, love that frame. Prism foil for this first one. So it's kind of a silvery kind of color. I'm using the Glimmer Hot Foil system for all of this. Now, when you peel it up, this is such an intricate design. There might be a little foil stuck in those spaces. I'm just taking a stiff paintbrush and kind of buffing that away. If there is anything that has overfoiled and it's not moving, I will very, very gently take a mono sand eraser and I'll erase that away. Be super careful when doing that. You don't want to erase the foiling. So I'm super gentle and I try to keep the eraser as flat to the cardstock as possible, erasing away any overfoiling. But look how gorgeous that spiderweb frame is. And foiled, I think this might be my all-time favorite spiderweb. I love a good spiderweb background, whether it be a die cut or a stamp. But this foiling, love, love, love it. Next, we're going to take a sentiment from the Spooky Greetings collection, and I am using something from Spooky Greetings on all 3 cards. We're going to foil this one with some Aura foil. This is a great, beautiful color. I really, really like this. I think it's a fantastic kind of fall leafy color. If you want to foil some leaves, there is a beautiful leaf border die. I will be linking that up to my blog. And then I foiled the bats and moon images from Spooky Greetings on a scrap of the Riverstone Fun Stamper's Journey cardstock with black foil. I actually didn't like how I foiled that first spiderweb, so I just used that leftover piece to go ahead and foil my bats. Then I am taking some of the nested clipped squares. These are the Becca Feekin Halloween collection. And you can see I have die cut that from the center of my spiderweb frame. And I actually had foiled the bats one time before, but I didn't like the color I foiled them. So that's why the cutout was already gone. No problem. We can go ahead and replace that. And then I'm playing around with some frames. We're going to be creating a little frame effect here that is popped up. These would work great for a shaker card if you want to do that. I'm just simply going to do a dimensional frame from my panel, and then the moon with the bats is going to be in the background. Now I felt like the moon needed a little bit of color, so I'm just going to take some of these Starry Colors watercolor and watercolor that in around the foiling. I think the foiling would somewhat resist this. Like, I wasn't super duper careful, but I didn't color over the foiling. I colored around it. It literally took just a couple minutes to do that. And then I'm going to set that aside to completely dry. But the difference of that moon, plus it ties back in to the color that we foiled our little phrase, the spooky greetings phrase, the baddie for you. And then it'll tie into the little star embellishments that we're going to add at the end of this. I did pull in a little bit of white into my moon. I don't really think it translated all that great. And in fact, I didn't like how it looked, so I kind of went back to my more gold color and went over that. But this is just a water brush pen with a little bit of water in it. And this is going to dry really, really quickly. After we've done that, let's go ahead and take our frame. I have used the nested clip squares to die cut some frames. We have a little thin frame from Tin Pail cardstock and a little thicker frame from Fun Stamper's Journey Black Licorice cardstock, and a Spiderweb from Spooky Boo die cut from Vellum. I thought I might use both. I ended up only using one of the little spider webs. I thought two was a little bit of overkill. And I played around with placement. So let's go ahead and just back our black frame with some double-sided adhesive real quick. I'm using some nice thin double-sided adhesive from Lawn Fawn. Use the Spellbinders tool-in-one to peel up that backing paper. Also helps keep your fingers out of the adhesive, so it's going to stick really nice. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that black frame right to the front of our opening. I found it worked a little easier to do it this way. And then we're going to go ahead and put the double-sided adhesive on the back of the Tin Pail frame, which is a little bit thinner. I achieved this by die cutting two frames at once. So we have a little thicker frame and then a little bit smaller one that we're going to layer. Now between the two layers, I'm actually going to sandwich this vellum spider web from Spooky Boo. And I originally thought I'd do it along the top, but it covered up too much of that darling bat and moon. And I ended up actually liking it much, much better along the bottom. So you're going to see me play around with the placement. I'm actually going to put it on the bottom, even though you're going to see it on the top here when I assembled it. But I want to show you how I came to choose the orientation, because it's going to work so much better the other way. I did trim down my background to 4 by 5¼ inches, so I have a nice white border all the way around. Plus I'm going to pop this up with foam adhesive, and I really personally don't like my foam adhesive to go all the way to the edge of the card because I think it doesn't fit in the envelope as nice. We're just going to line that up with our frame. I haven't put foam adhesive on the back of it yet. We're going to press down the background piece to our card base. And then we're going to pop up the frame with foam adhesive, which I did do off camera just to save a little time. This Hey Boo is also from Spooky Boo, the same set that the Spiderweb comes from. I die cut this from black glitter cardstock attached to fun foam with stick-it adhesive. One of my favorite little tricks for a dimensional scripty greeting is using that fun foam, and the glitter looks so amazing. And then layered over that spider web, I love how it turned out. Baddie for you, we're going to pop that up with a little foam adhesive right underneath Hey Boo. I love a combination of a scripty greeting and then a more simple little sentiment strip, so that works really well. We're going to attach a die cut spider from Spooky Boo to the spider web and cover him with glossy accents. I do want to mention there's a little teeny tiny straight die cut piece, so if you want to hang your spider from a web, you can do that really easily. It die cuts with the spider web, which is awesome. The bats also die cut from Spooky Boo and popped into place up there in the upper left corner of the card. Little dabs of glue are being added all over because this is where we're going to give our visual triangle or kind of even out the gold that's been added to this card. We've got our moon, we've got the baddie for you. I know it's not necessarily gold, it's that aura color, but I really like how it all kind of goes together so nicely, and I love the little addition of teeny tiny little gold stars throughout this design. I love, love, love these products. Did I say I love them? I do. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've got Christmas coming for you next. Spellbinders is bringing it this year. So, so good. Let's move on to our second card design. I actually did the same exact foiling. I did it off camera to save us a little time. River Stone cardstock, but this time, see how our web is a little bit lighter? That's because I used opal foil. So it is a little more subtle. It looks clear, but it's so, so pretty. Next, we are going to foil directly on the background. So this is one of my favorite foiling techniques, which is layered foiling with different colors. We're going to foil then a great little phrase here from the Spooky Greetings, Happy Halloween, with black foil right there along the bottom edge of our card. I die cut the Halloween Sunday Drive and Sunday Drive images off camera, and I'd laid them out. So I had an idea where I want Happy Halloween to fall on my card, because it's really important that that kind of serves as a place to set my scene, if that makes sense, because we're going to set this great little car on that. Look how pretty that layered foiling looks. I just really love that effect. Then we've got Sunday Drive, the original, and Halloween Sunday Drive. We're going to assemble this. I used All Fun Stamper's Journey cardstock. So our car colors definitely was inspired by fall. I used Pumpkin Bread. That's the beautiful dark orange of our car, and Haystack. So those are kind of the main colors of our vehicle. And then we've got some silver mirror for the nice chrome bumper, the side mirrors, all of those little things. I've got some vellum for the windshield. We're going to have black cardstock for the license plate, which is customized with Hey Boo. Love this. If you love trucking through the seasons, you're going to love Sunday Drive. Great additions to this set as well. There's a Christmas set that you don't want to miss. And we're just going to assemble the car. I definitely tried to go slow here. I almost made a couple little missteps about this point because I need to add the windshield. I need to add the skeleton and the witch in the car. Just all the little things. And luckily I worked pretty quickly, so I was able to, because I used liquid glue. There's not a whole lot of room for error there, but we're going to get it done. Now for the vellum windshield, which again, I almost forgot to add that as well. I ran that through a Xyron sticker maker and inlaid it into the windshield. So you'll see that here in just a second. Cute little side view mirrors. We've got our steering wheel that the skeleton's going to be driving, and he's waving out the window. I really, really dig this set. I think it's so cute. And I think anyone would love to get a card like this. I can't wait to send out Halloween cards this year. I don't know why. I don't usually send out Halloween cards, but I think I will this year because I am really, really loving the Halloween products from everywhere. Can't wait for you guys to see all the stuff coming. So here's our little windshield through the Xyron sticker maker. Okay, now let's put that steering wheel in. And we're going to just start the little witch. She's got like a little black glittery outfit on. And then her skin I did in Fun Stamper's Journey Lemongrass. So it's green. I wanted it to be something a little bit more fun. Some nice brown hair. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is hazelnut. I'm going to look really quick because I don't want to tell you wrong. It is listed on my blog, so if at any time you're wondering, and it's listed underneath here in the supplies as well, there's a link to each color I used. So she's got her little hat, a little glittery band around it. My glitter cardstocks today are all Lawn Fawn Autumn Sparkle. And the white cardstock I'm going to use for the last card is also Lawn Fawn. We're just building the little broom. That's Oatmeal Cookie, the lighter color up at the top. I love that she's got her broom even. All of the detail is phenomenal here. Now, once the car and the passengers and passenger and driver are assembled, I think my favorite part of this might be the great little glittery foliage and then the skeletons for the back. Decorating the back of the card is really, really fun. And these are kind of not super scary Halloween, which I also super appreciate. Don't forget to do the tail lights. All of the finishing little details are super incredible here. So there's silver, and then I just used some of the haystack, the dark yellow color, to inlay the light. I'm using an embellishment wand to pick things up and easily place them. Tweezers at times, all of those things make assembly so much easier. And here are my skeletons, or the little skeleton faces anyway. I'm going to put those on the back. And then we're going to add bats. I love the size of these. These are also from the Sunday Drive Halloween. Then we're going to go back with our little gold stars and scatter these all over the card. I think they add such a fantastic little finishing touch. This background also is trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and it's going to be adhered to a white top fold card base. I really liked the kind of framed up look since our spiderweb goes to the edge of the card here. And I kind of forgot about it until I got close to the end. But I want to add a small stamped phrase underneath the foiled Halloween. I think it just kind of ties it all in nicely, even though we've got the Hey Boo of the license plate. We have Happy Halloween foiled, and then we're going to emboss a little greeting too. I'll show you that in a second. I did add Nuvo crystal drops in ebony black to the eyes on the skeleton faces, which again, I really like how that looks as well. Some little white dots to the eyes on the bats on my first card. And we are almost ready to get to that third card, but let's go ahead and stamp that phrase as I was mentioning. So here it is. It is from the Simon Says Stamp Zombie Boo stamp set. This was from, I believe, last year's release at Simon Says Stamp. And we are going to just stamp that below. Keep in mind, I came back a little bit later. You just saw me put those Nuvo crystal drops on the eyes. It's dry. I actually was gone for a little bit. I came back and did this. So they dried in between. If you hadn't already added those, I would stamp and emboss your greeting first and then come back and add the Nuvo crystal drops. A little white embossing powder. And then really make sure that this is nice and clean and you're not getting a bunch of little embossing powder flakes. I took a little bit of time here and took a small paintbrush and I'm wiping away excess embossing flakes. They were everywhere. I should have used a powder tool before I went to do this, but I didn't, so I'm being super careful now. I'm going to grab my heat tool and then heat emboss. Very, very quick. I love the scene. The Sunday Drive set and then the add-ons are phenomenal for kind of extending the use of these. How cute would this little card be as maybe one of the pockets if you do Project Life for scrapbooking, or add it to a scrapbook page? There are so many things to do with this. I think it's just the most darling little set. Again, if you're a big fan of Trekking Through the Seasons from Spellbinders, I think you'll like Sunday Drive as well. Our third card, I mixed it up. I love the pumpkin bread cardstock, don't you guys? I think the color's perfect for fall. So I actually chose to take the Aura foil and foil my Spiderweb frame. So just like I did before, we're foiling the frame on the top and the bottom. So it's going to be a full frame. I got smarter this time and I just foiled a 4 by 5 1/4 inch cardstock instead of the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 that I was doing before. So just kind of wisened up. I keep all my little scraps. So anything that didn't get foiled and used when I'm doing this, I kind of trim away the excess and I just slip the excess down into the little box. I keep my boxes. I cut off the tops of them and I keep the boxes because they tell me what color the foil is, which I find very important so that I always know what I'm using. But I keep those little scraps because they can be used for greetings, small images, whatever it might be. Don't throw those away because all those little pieces will work really great. Again, any overfoiling, which it looks like I had a little bit here, I'm just kind of going over very, very gently and removing any of those little overfoiling spots on my background panel. This features a lot of foiling. Our images are going to be foiled with another color. We're actually going to use copper, which is gorgeous. My favorite color combination for fall, whether it be Halloween or not, is Aura, Copper, and Espresso Bean. They are gorgeous together. Really super pretty. And what I'm going to do is foil my skeleton and ghost from the Spooky Greetings set. We're going to do that with copper. Yes, copper, which is kind of a tone on tone, I feel like, with the pumpkin colored cardstock background, but I'm going to foil them at the same time. So I'm lining them up, taping them down with a little repositionable tape. This tape has been well loved. I tend to, when I'm foiling, I like the well loved tape that I've used over and over. It's not as sticky. And make sure the tape doesn't touch anything you've already foiled because it can pull up the foiling. And then I foiled those cute little guys. So how cute are they? I think they're fun. I will tell you, I originally foiled Creep It Real from Spooky Greetings right to the background. It was slightly tipped and it bothered me. And not to mention, I felt like I needed some sort of texture, embellishment, layers, whatever you want to call it, because I am going to be adding a dimensional die cut greeting and I was going to add some bats and things. And so I decided to go ahead and redo this part. I did foil it with espresso bean, so that is no different than what I'm doing here, but we're going to do that on the hazelnut cardstock, which is going to make a really, really big difference in the finished card, I think. But I'm leaving it in so you can see it. It's not real bad, but it's just slightly skewed. It bothers me. I didn't redo anything else. We're just going to cover that up. The Boo from Spooky Boo, I didn't use hay. I just used Boo here. This is some great glittery cardstock, again, from the Lawn Fawn Autumn Sparkle Collection. If you ever have trouble getting anything to pop out, I love the little piercing tip from the Spellbinders Tool-in-One. I use this tool every single time I craft. It's sticking just a little bit. And you want to go nice and slow. And then we'll get this last one out. And I want to pop this up at the top. And I love all of the different texture. We've got foiling. We've got glitter. It just looks so pretty together. And I'm actually going to raise that up. I feel like it's just a tiny bit too low. Luckily, it's still pretty easy to move. Just going to gently pop that up. Give us a little more space for when I foil that Creep It Real again and die cut it with a little strip. That's going to give us a tiny bit more room. It's looking pretty cute, right? There is our little Creep It Real. We're going to pop it up with foam adhesive. Want to make sure and get it straight. I was having trouble with that phrase, wasn't I? And then the fun. We've got little glittery black bats. We've got little glittery sugar skulls. And we're going to finish and round it out with some great little gold stars everywhere. And then pop this panel onto a white top fold card base as well. So there you have it. 3 completely different cards, all using the gorgeous Spiderweb background foil plate to create gorgeous, amazing foiled borders for these Halloween card designs. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video featuring new Halloween and fall collections from Spellbinders. The supplies I use to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Spellbinders products that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.